Joining me in the room podcast to talk about his next fighting opportunity at Cage Titans 59 on May 27th is Jake Caskey. What's up, my man? It's been a while since we chatted, bro.
What's going on, brother? Yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think your last fight was, about 10 months ago to the day, Cage Titans is coming up, man. How's it feel to get back in that cage?
Oh, it's good. It's feels good to be back on schedule. When I had that fight with Mike back in last August, my plan was to fight like 2 more times that year before it got disrupted. So it's good to be back in the swing of things and back on track. So
Well,
good.
what was the disruption in there? Injury, life got in the way, had to take care of some things. What was going on in that 10 months?
Yeah, so a week after the fight, my first night back, I shattered my nose in sparring, just like caught a random knee while going down for a takedown, and then I just had a bunch of complications and difficulties with the nose. Like took forever to set, and then it would set and then get bumped and shift out of place again. And so I was actually booked to fight like in January at Reality, but unfortunately had to pull out with complications because of that. So yeah, dealing with injuries, and then once I got into wrestling season, it was kind of like, okay, let me focus on the high schoolers, and we'll fight after wrestling season. So here we are, season's over, and we're back at it, 100%. Nose is tip top, so we're good to go.
Excellent. Well, you're coaching wrestling, correct?
Yeah. Yep. I'm the head coach at Montville High School. I'm in my second year of that.
Hey, congratulations, man. How'd they do?
Thank you. We did pretty well this year. We had a young bunch, but the difference by the end of the season was totally noticeable. We had one kid, win a state title. He placed in the New Englands this year, so he's only a junior. So we're looking pretty good, and not for nothing, I got Billy Goff as my assistant. So
nice.
they got some good coaching in that room.
Nice, my man. Billy Goff, man. Great things. Got some, got his UFC contract in there. Still waiting for him to make that debut.
Yeah.
But we're all for that kid when it happens, man. How's training with Billy? I mean, now you're full throttle, nose is healed out. I know I see you guys all the time on social media with Dexter getting work in. How's the work been going with Randy and all those guys at Dexter's?
It's good, man. It's really good. The energy in the gym is definitely high. And I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier in the week when I did the Cage Titans podcast. But the energy is high, but things have remained relatively the same. Aside from getting the confirmation that the recipe works, what we're doing ain't broke, don't fix it. We've just been business as usual. Billy's the same. Everybody's the same. Randy's trying to go pro here soon. Austin Shala, we're trying to get him pro soon. So we're gonna go from 1 pro fighter in the gym to 4 very shortly here, and it's gonna be big.
Excellent, my man. Well, coming off that last fight, bro, you went against a tough dude, undefeated dude. Now he's a reality champion in Anti Dormy there, man. What'd you take out of that fight that it's going to bring you into this next matchup?
Yeah, shout out Mike, man. He's a great fighter, dude. That kid. We've of course we've spoken since the fight, and we follow each other on social media, and man, that kid is always working. He's always in the gym, and I respect that. I respect the hell out of the kid. I just saw that he's not even able to make his pro debut with Reality because nobody wants to fucking fight him, and it's like that's crazy, man. Yeah. That sucks. But no, shout out to Mike, and definitely shout out to him for that fight. I mean, I think with that fight with him, I showed up, and so for me, like, I know I have all the technical skills. I have the physicality, I have the strength, the speed, the technical MMA skills. And so for me, it's been about showing up mentally correct and putting it to use in the cage. And I think in that Antidorme fight, I pulled off the gas a little bit too much. I tried to come in real mellow and real calm and level headed, and I was out there almost like it felt like almost like a sparring session to me, instead of like a fight. And so, for this next one, I'm definitely coming in full bore. I'm not gonna be sitting back trying to play the patty cake game on the feet. Like I'm gonna be in his face. I'm gonna be pushing the pace, grinding him down. So I definitely got a lot out of that Antidorme fight, and yeah, the judges saw it one way, and looking back on the fight, I agree with the judges. It was razor thin margins there. I just think if I had dealt with the kicks a little bit more, it would have been a different story. But that's why we take these tough fights as amateurs. And again, shout out to Mike for pointing out these holes in my game. Eternally grateful for that.
Well,
I wish I was ready to go pro. I would go pro with him and fight him at reality, and we can fucking dance again. But since nobody wants to fight him, man.
Well, maybe by the end of the year, man, after you get another fight, this one, maybe another one, depending on how Dexter wants to bring you along, man. But we can't wait to see that pro debut out of both of yous. But, man, you got a fight ahead of you, bro, with Joe Italia, man. Scrappy dude fought Brett
Yeah.
Layton his last fight. He likes to chatter in that cage, man. So this is going to be a different kind of atmosphere fighting him. He talks, he's animated in there, tries to get in your head, man. Looking back at that fight with Brett, man, what'd you take out of that as far as the matchup with him?
I watched a little bit of it. As an amateur, like I'm not too worried. Like I don't spend hours studying these guys' films looking for the holes. Like we're still amateur. Like and I said this in my interview before. You know, like I didn't know shit about the kid before I took the fight. Now that I've seen him do his little portion of the interview, I know a little bit about him. Like he's a Coast Guard rescue swimmer. I think that's badass. All the respect in the world for him for that. But at the end of the day, I'm not worried about what he's doing. I'm worried about what I'm going in there to do. I'm working on certain aspects of my game. So the chat and shit and whatever he's gonna do, like that's not gonna phase me. I mean, if you're ever in the rough house during a sparring session or when we're rolling live, I mean, you hear me chatting shit to everybody. I'm hooting and hollering. I'm screaming, and when I'm getting in subs and all that stuff, like I'm making it into a fun, experience. So him talking shit in the cage isn't gonna phase me. It's gonna, if anything, it's more exciting. But I will say, like, I expected him to really run his mouth in that interview, and he didn't. He had a lot of good things to say, and that's almost even more exciting. The fact that he's not talking shit, he doesn't want to talk himself into a hole. That tells me that he's taking this wicked seriously, and that is to me even more exciting because that tells me that the best version of Joe Atala is going to show up, and that's what I'm here for. So,
Yeah.
I'm pumped.
Well, looking at his fights, man, like I said, he's a scrappy dude. He's got a couple of in his two wins, they're both finishes. I think a knockout and a submission. So he's well rounded. He was fighting, I do believe, in Louisiana, down south somewhere, and then he had his debut for Cage Titans in New
Yeah.
England. I think he might be out of Sidiatong. Is that right? Lee Gresh or somewhere where Lee Gresh is held up
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Dexter was saying he was a Loco Lobo guy, and Dexter speaks really highly of him. So when we heard he was coming out of this camp, we knew it was going to be a tough fight. And again, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to fight turds. I'm not here to waste my time as an amateur. I'm here to challenge myself, and just like the Walsh and the Locino and the Antidorme fight, like I've come out of these fights 10 times the fighter I was before that. So I'm hoping that I get that same experience, out of Atala, and we get ourselves back in the win column, and it'll be good to go.
Excellent, my man. Well, stepping back into that Cage Titans cage after 10 months away, man. What's that feeling like? Every one of their cards, they elevate their their production, everything that goes on in there, man. How excited are you to get back into their cage and absorb all that crowd and all the love you get in there?
Oh man, I love fighting in Plymouth. I love the work that Mike Pulver and all those people at Cage Titans do. They do a phenomenal job. From, like you said, from the production to the to fight night to everything. They really do a good job of promoting the fighters and making it about the fighters. So, you know, in my opinion, there's not a better platform in New England right now to get yourself out there. They're proving that they're up and coming as a promotion, and the numbers really speak for themselves. And then and people up in Plymouth, baby, they love me. They know that Jake's coming to put on a show. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Being back in the hall and being in that small cage, man. It's tough to get away in that small cage. So yeah, it's all good things.
Well, I know when the Dexter crew comes in, man, they come in and they take over that place. Are you the only Dexter guy that's going to be on this card? Are you running solo on that Cage Titans 59?
Yeah, I am. Randy's got to fight. He's got to fight an amateur fight at CES coming up in a couple weeks here. So yeah, I'll be the only one on this card,
Uh,
but that's all right. They're all gonna be there.
yeah, Billy Goff going to be in your corner there helping out.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah, last time he went on vacation. This time he's not getting away. This time
well,
I give him a ton of shit.
I did see him recently head to Vegas. I think he took Randy Francis with him to train down there for a little while. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. They went out to the Apex. Billy wanted to link up with all their sports nutritionists and all their PT guys. I was gonna go out with him, but you see the way my bank account is set up. I ain't got it like that right now. So, but we'll be making trips out there in the future.
Yeah.
It's a great resource he's got there, man. They do everything at that Apex. I live with Billy, so I see it all firsthand. Yeah, man, they do everything for you out there.
Excellent, my man. Well, you mentioned Randy Francis. He'd be going to be fighting for CES, an amateur fight. Man, how cool is it to? I mean, it seems like you guys are in training camp all the time, getting ready for something.
Yeah.
How cool is it to get ready with him? I mean, you guys are fighting about this, the same time, maybe a couple of weeks apart. But how cool is it to, be able to go full throttle with someone else who's going to be fighting in the cage also?
Oh yeah, you can't get any better than that. Randy's a phenomenal partner. Him and I are normal training partners. Inside and outside of camp. And when we're both in camp, yeah, it's full bore. It's a running joke that when Dexter says, "All right, and we're gonna do this drill easy," he's got to like do a double take at Randy and I to like emphasize, "Hey, we're fucking going easy." So it's yeah, it's good work in the gym, man. I wouldn't want to train anywhere else than with these guys.
Excellent, my man. Well, great scrap coming up, man. Do
It's
you
gonna be good.
yeah, do you believe I mean, he's from the area, but he's been fighting out of the area. Like I said, he made his debut I think in January for Cage Titans. You've been away for a little while, but like you said, you're a fan favorite. You always bring it in there. Who do you think's going to be the crowd favorite here? Do you think you're going to win them over coming in?
I'd like to think so. I mean, look at me, how could you not root for this? But no, I don't know. Honestly, I try not to pay too much attention to the crowd. It's nice when you come out the backstage and you get the crowd pop and all that. It's nice. But I know I got people in Plymouth that'll be rooting for me. And again, I'm not really worried about that. I'm worried about getting in there, putting my skills to the test, working on the facets of my game that I'm trying to improve, and going from there. It is funny though. I will say I do hear certain people like it's weird what you hear and don't hear in the cage, and like every now and then I'll hear like somebody whose voice I recognize like shout something and it'll draw my attention. Like I think you saw it in my last fight. I forget who it was. It was like that it's like Rob Pico or something. I heard him say like, "Oh, you fucking smash this guy!" And so maybe you see me like I shoot him a finger guns in the cage and everything. So, nah, I know I got good support up there, and I'm here to put on a show. So people gotta respect that at the end of the day.
Definitely, and yeah, you spoke about Rob, Mike Oliveira. There's a ton
Yeah,
of
man.
there's a ton of guys that they're always in that front row there, man, and they're rooting for good fights in there, man. And you guys, and
They're funny.
yeah,
They're
they are
funny.
good dudes, man. So a couple of more questions, my man. You spoke, maybe down the line, making your pro debut, maybe getting a fight with Anti Dormy. Is there a timeline on that? What are you thinking as far as how many more amateur fights you got in you before you want to actually get paid for fighting?
Dexter and I are looking at getting this one and then either one or two more. But my timeline is, pro by the end of this year or very early next year. That's the timeline. Only for the simple fact is like I need to start throwing these elbows, dude. These guys have no idea what is coming for them. It's and what's scary about it and what makes me want to go pro like right now is that the elbows are like my first instinct already, and I'm not even training them like that. We of course we train the elbows, but like I'm not throwing them in sparring. But when I get into that cage, man, like there was an instance in the Anadormi fight where I had him up against the cage, and my very first, I had to literally stop what I was doing and tell myself, like, don't throw that fucking elbow, because that was my first instinct, was to throw that up. So, man, they're coming, and when they do, you're gonna see, you know, you're gonna see me really settle into my fight style, and I'm excited for it. So it's coming soon. Couple more.
All
Couple
right,
more.
my man. Awesome, my man. Can't wait. Well, last question, bro, before I let you give you a shout out, social media, sponsors, anything like that. What do we expect to see from Jay Caskey after, 10 months away from the cage, heading into Cage Titans 59 against Joe Italia?
I mean, people know what to expect. I'm coming in guns blazing. You know, I said this earlier in the week, but Joe and I, he's game. He's a very tough fighter. I'm expecting him to bring it. I'm expecting him to show up in phenomenal form, and I'm gonna be the same. So we're gonna meet in the middle. We're gonna throw hands. We're gonna draw blood, and it's gonna be fucking fun, man. So I'm telling you guys, like, it's gonna be fun. I don't wanna go too much into it, but people are in for a show. Every fighter wants to say, this has fight of the night written all over it. But I think the way that our two styles match up, I think it really does. And so, yeah, just stay tuned, man. Stay
Excellent.
tuned. Follow the process.
May 27th, man. Can't wait. Cage Titans 59, bro. The return of the Caskey and Dexters to that cage, man. Last thing, bro. Shout outs, social media, sponsors, thank yous, and I'll let you get back to your day and training, my man.
Yeah. As always, I want to give a thank you to everybody in the gym. All the guys at the Rough House during fight camp. I'm not that fun to be around during fight camp because I'm always 100% balls to the wall. I train hard. So, shout out to all those guys putting up with me. Shout out to Billy, Austin, Randy, and of course Dexter. I want to thank my family. They are hugely supportive of me in this journey. And all my friends and people that are gonna buy tickets and show up. Shout out to all those guys. I don't have any sponsors yet. I'm not really too focused on it. I'm saving that for when I go pro. But yeah, just appreciate all the love and support from everybody. Keep it coming. Good things are on the way, guys.
Excellent. I have your Instagram handle here, and of course, your Jay Caskey on Facebook. Any other social media you want to throw out there?
Nah, that's all I got.
All right, man. That's enough, bro. You guys are doing great things for Dexter. You guys are always on Instagram, and you guys are having fun in there. I mean, it's not always balls to the wall. You guys have fun in there, make jokes, and it's good to see on social media, man. So keep that game up, all right?
Absolutely, man. You can't take yourself so seriously all the time. You got to be able to laugh and live in the moment and appreciate what we're doing.
All right, my man. I'll be around cage side on the 27th. You might hear my voice in there screaming at you guys. So can't wait for the scrap, bro. And thanks for the time today, my man. Always a pleasure talking to you.
All right, brother. Thank you very much. Good chatting. See you.
All right, we'll see you in a few weeks, bro.
Yep. Take care.